Brr, brr, ma, ma. These are your hands too. Brr, brr, ma, ma. I feel really warmed up. Awesome. Should we get started then?
Let's get started.
Awesome.
I'm in a
Hello.
squeaky chair.
Thank you for adding that in. Hello and welcome to Outside the Search Bar, the podcast where we try to answer questions without using Google. I'm Jacob Schubach, and I'll turn it over to my sister / co-host now.
Hi, everybody. My name is Emily. Each week, Jacob and I are going to come prepared with questions that we do not know the answer to. We each have a note on our phones that is filling up with an astounding number of questions, which is honestly a testament to how unqualified we are to host this and how little we actually know.
Of course, we would be remiss to not take listener questions. So if you have a tough question you'd like us to answer on the podcast, send us an email to searchbarpodcast@gmail.com or drop a comment on our social profiles at searchbarpodcast. Okay, so normally we would have a guest host, but since this is our first episode, we decided that we wanted to do it just ourselves because we're, yes, that's right, independent. Emily, would you like to kick us off with our first segment?
Yeah, so our first segment is going to be What's Trending, where Jacob and I discuss the latest Google search trends from this week. First up, we have Rihanna's pregnancy. Honestly, very important to discuss.
It is.
I'm excited about it.
Okay, would you like to continue?
I have a lot to say. First up, I want to look as good as Rihanna all the time, but especially like when she's pregnant. If I could get pregnant and look that good, that would be amazing.
I think the choice of fashion that she chose, like the pink puffer jacket with her like belly, like just being like pregnant and like having like the like, I don't know what you would call it.
Body
chain. I was gonna call it a necklace, a necklace for your belly. That was just like also like a very high fashion statement, which I was just very impressed by her doing.
Do you think the pink means that it's gonna be a girl? Or do you think she just likes pink?
I didn't think that until you said it, but like I could see that making sense. But
I didn't think it until right now. So
it would be like the least toxic gender reveal party yet.
True.
We don't really need a gender reveal party.
Nothing burned down.
Yeah.
Nothing exploded. No one got hurt.
I also loved all of the memes on Twitter where it was like, Rihanna girl, where's the album?
Honestly, she could like release some lullabies. I'd listen to that.
Listen, Ariana Grande should release lullabies. I was actually thinking about that, and like it should be a partnership with the Calm app as like a meditation, like Ariana Grande singing lullabies.
Baba Black Sheep by Ariana Grande. Amazing.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star. I would listen to it.
I would listen too, but also I feel like there's not much Ariana could release that I wouldn't listen to.
Fair. Also fair. Ariana and Rihanna drop a song together, 2022.
I do want to share a dream I had after I saw Rihanna's pregnancy announcement, because I was actively thinking, I think like most of the world is like, is Drake okay? I had a dream that I was playing Mario Kart with Drake, and also Adele was there.
Who was there?
Drake and Adele.
Oh, Adele, okay.
Mm-hmm. And we were playing Mario Kart, and then we got interrupted when someone brought us bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwiches. So we switched to eating those instead, and then I woke up.
Really good. Drake, I guess, is also not okay. I did see that he unfollowed both A$AP Rocky and Rihanna on Instagram. So
that's pretty dramatic.
He's definitely in his feelings. See, if you just Google that, you wouldn't get the same context as you're getting right now, which is why it's important that we talk about what's trending.
Yes, of course.
The second thing that I put on the list was Groundhog Day, which today is Groundhog Day. I did not search this one today, but I saw it on Twitter that it saw its shadow and it has 6 more weeks of winter left, I guess.
Punxsutawney Phil.
Punxsutawney.
Did see his shadow? Punxsutawney? Is that?
Yeah.
But apparently there's like another rival groundhog somewhere who did not see his shadow.
I was seeing on Twitter
mixed signals.
I was seeing on Twitter like memes that the groundhog died, but I didn't bother to search further than that. And they're like, Punxsutawney Phil is dead. And somebody else was like, well, you do realize like they haven't been using the same groundhog since like 1887, right? Like
What is the lifespan of a groundhog?
I would guess 23 years.
Tune into next week's episode to find out
How long a groundhog lives. I feel like we should Google it right now because like that is like
It's
the impetus of
important
this. Like
to
we
know.
do not just put fake news into the world. We end up like researching it by
That's
Googling
true.
it live.
Amazing.
So let me open up Safari. Groundhog lifespan.
Sponsored by Safari.
Oh my God.
What?
It says about
35 years.
It says about 3 years.
Only 3 years?
They need to do like, I have a complaint for God. 3 years is not
A
enough
lot of
time for a
complaints,
groundhog
yeah.
to live. That's
That is
messed up.
not. Wow. So it's
Wow.
probably a new groundhog like every single year because like they use the grown ass ones
Yeah, they're not gonna like use a baby one. Like they need someone who's been around.
because they don't
for,
understand the concept of shadows.
really good. Really good.
Really good. Next up, I'm wondering, Jacob, if you could share something that you searched last week.
Yes, I can certainly do that. So one thing that I searched was I saw a TikTok where this girl was like, you could be the person who drives the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. And I was like, maybe I want to drive the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. Maybe I will just quit my job and do that instead. So I looked up the process to do that. And it's like, you literally just submit a resume. And if you like really want to stand out, you could also submit a video.
What kind of skills do you think they're looking for the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile driver?
Driving skills, which I will say, like, I have driven a U-Haul before, which is pretty impressive, in my opinion.
Our mother is calling me right now.
Oh my God. Does she not know that we're recording a podcast?
She knows. She knows.
She wanted to call in as the caller question. So yeah, that's something that I looked up. The deadline has since passed, so I will not be the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile driver, which is a bit unfortunate, but alas.
Maybe next time.
Yeah. What is something that you searched?
A little while back, I think it was like an Instagram post of someone who climbed Mount Everest, and they shared a video of the top, and it was like sunny and pretty. And I'm like, wow, that would be cool to see. I should climb Mount Everest. I should not climb Mount Everest.
No, I think you're physically fit
like,
enough to do it.
Am I?
Yeah, why not?
I've gone to the gym 3 times in the past week, so that's pretty good. But instead I was like, is there a way I could climb Mount Everest, but like without the cold and like having to do it like all at once? So I was Googling how many stories high Mount Everest is. So like maybe I could do it on the stair climber at the gym. The correct answer is 2,073 stories, which seems like a lot of steps. So I might not do it now that I have this information.
Now that I have the context, I actually don't want to do that.
And this is what we call making decisions after acquiring new information.
Yes. So we love formulating opinions after thinking of things. Really good. Maybe one day we should all just climb Mount Everest together. Like we can get the siblings together, and that can be like a fun little siblings trip.
We could.
Amazing. So now we're going to get into the bread and butter of the podcast, and we are going to go into our question and answer. Emily and I have both prepared some questions. We discussed previous to pressing record which questions we're going to answer because we think they're the best. Do you want to ask your question first, or should I ask mine first?
You can go first.
But I feel like yours is spicier.
Okay, then I'll go first.
But mine's also scientific, so there's something to keep listening for. So
I don't know if you can hear my Google Home in the background trying to answer my question, but it's fine.
I could not hear it.
So, okay, cool, good. We'll edit it out.
Post.
So my question is, as a cisgender woman, what would happen if I took Viagra?
It's a valid question.
Honestly, though, like,
well, okay. Well, you also should explain, like,
it?
you explain, like, why were you thinking that?
Oh, I had an ad on like a YouTube video for Viagra. Don't know why, but that popped up. And I'm just like, why are they targeting this to me? maybe I subconsciously need it. What would happen if I took it? What if this ad worked right now?
What if, wouldn't you need a prescription for it though?
I thought you didn't need a prescription for it because like you have to get a prescription for birth control. And people are like, well, why is it so easy to get Viagra?
Oh yeah, that's true. Interesting. So I guess anybody can just buy Viagra.
And where do you buy? Like, can you just go to CVS and like pick it up?
Is it like an over-the-counter thing?
Probably. I mean, if you don't need a prescription, that would make it over the counter.
But is it like behind like the glass cases? Like they put like Tide Pods behind glass cases. I'm sure they would put Viagra behind a glass case, right?
Probably.
Who knows?
Probably.
So what are your initial thoughts like if you took Viagra?
My soul is saying like I would get jittery. Like I had too much caffeine.
It's like a caffeine pill.
That is based on absolutely nothing. I feel like Viagra is made like what's the active ingredient? Like testosterone?
No, because I feel like that's not what gives you an erection. Like
what gives you an erection?
Erection is like when you have blood in your penis.
Science.
which like you always do, but like there's a lot of blood in your penis. That's a Paul quote. No, because like also like because it says in the commercials, isn't it like call a doctor if you have an erection for over 6 hours? So like it would last a long time in your system.
Right. Well, it's not like it's blood. Like
well, I feel
it has to be something that's like encouraging arousal. And I feel like high testosterone would do that.
No, it wouldn't. Because like I feel like when you have high testosterone, you're like, I want to lift weights. You're not like, I have an erection now.
Are you sure? I feel like I've dated a lot of men who are like, I have a lot of testosterone. Like I have an erection now.
I don't think it's like one and the same. Like I feel like it would increase your libido, but like it wouldn't make you have an erection.
Okay, so then what's your hypothesis?
Well, my hypothesis is like in a man, it would make your penis fill with blood so that you have the erection. So I'm like not sure if it like clots the blood in your penis. No, that's a scientific guess. That's a hypothesis.
That's a good guess.
No, that's a good guess. Because like
Viagra is causing blood clots, but isolated only to the penis?
Yes.
No.
Why not?
How?
Because it would direct the blood to your penis so that you get a hard-on. And that's how it works. So in a woman, it wouldn't know where to direct it. It would just get lost in the sauce. And I think it would just like spread like the blood flow throughout your body. So I think you're right when you say like it would just make you jittery, like you have caffeine. Because like it must target something.
I'm
like,
confused why you think someone can take Viagra and then what active ingredient is in it is like this being has a penis and
like,
I know exactly where it is.
Let me find the testicles.
Oh, so no, it's going to the testicles.
I don't know. I don't know how it works on men or women. I think it has something to do with blood flow. And I think you're right that it would like increase your heart rate and like make you jittery.
Do you think I would become like sexually aroused though?
No.
I feel like I might a little bit.
We're all humans. Like it all just comes together.
Like kind of jittery. Like, I don't know, like could be a turn on.
I don't know.
Okay. I think I'll feel jittery. Final answer. Oh, we're not going to Google this one. I'm going to go to CVS to find out.
Over the counter. Can you please direct me to the Viagra? I want to do a science experiment.
I just pop it right in front of the cashier.
I love oversharing at CVS, don't you?
Honestly, yeah, they know a lot about my life.
I actually went to a CVS the other day because it was my birthday and I was in
Happy birthday.
I was in Palos Verdes and I forgot my phone charger, so I needed to buy a new phone charger. And I made them walk all the way from the front of the store to the back of the store to lock the case for me.
Good job.
I did not purchase Viagra.
Interesting.
Interesting.
So they had a phone charger locked up? They definitely have Viagra locked up then.
They have to. There's no way they couldn't. Anyways, final answer, you get jittery. Do you want to Google it?
Oh, yes.
You could also Bing it. We're not We're platform agnostic here.
Should I pull out an encyclopedia and look it up?
Yeah.
Oh, it's auto-completing to ask
Oh,
this
okay.
exact question.
See, this is a popular podcast question.
Okay. What happens if a woman takes Viagra? Just as Viagra helps improve blood flow for an erection, it may improve blood flow for the female reproductive parts. When this happens, it may cause more sensitivity and stimulation, causing the person to become more aroused.
Huh.
Oh, I am a woman and I took Viagra. Benefits and side effects.
What website is this from? What's our work
This
cited?
is from Healthline.
Okay.
Medically reviewed by Alexander Perez, written by Anne Pietrangelo. Pietrangelo?
Shout out to Anne if you're listening today.
Thank you. Effects on women. Potential benefits. This is there's like some scientific words here.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, increased blood flow to the genitals.
See, it targets
arousal,
the genitals.
orgasmic.
It targets it.
I have a question for next week of like, how do medications know where to go?
Yeah, like that's a good question. Okay, so it targets the genitalia and increases blood flow to it.
Side effects can cause a blood pressure drop, especially within a few hours of taking it.
Okay.
There's little data on safety in women, particularly in the long term. In studies that have included women, it appears to be fairly well tolerated. Some side effects of headache, nasal congestion, flushing, visual disturbances, indigestion, and palpitation.
Viagra gives women hallucinations.
Fascinating. I did not guess that one.
I don't think that's accurate, but fair. Is there a female version of Viagra that like exists?
Oh, Viagra alternatives for women. It's in the same article. Okay, so there's no Viagra for women by like brand name.
Mm-hmm.
However, there are a few FDA-approved medications to treat low sexual desire in women. One of these is Addyi, Addyi. Because it's a pink tablet and Viagra is a blue tablet, the nickname female Viagra was bound to happen. But these are different drugs with different missions.
I mean, this feels like a business opportunity for us to
do what?
create female Viagra.
But it exists. Unless you're saying like we go to Viagra, the company, and say,
oh yeah, that's
diversify.
Diversify. Mm-hmm. Just turn the pill pink. Apparently that's what they need. Like Rihanna's coat.
There we go.
Awesome. Do you feel educated based on your
I do feel educated. I feel like if presented the opportunity to take Viagra, I would probably do it.
In like a safe setting or like just at home?
Is like home not a safe setting?
Like, I don't know, like maybe like a laboratory or something like.
No, probably like just at home.
Alone?
Like a drug dealer on the street was like.
You don't need to do it in the street. Like you just go to CVS and get it.
Yeah, that's true.
So you're presented the opportunity every time when you go to CVS.
If I see it, I'll think about it and I will let you all know.
Okay. Beautiful work. You're doing the Lord's work, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
For science.
Great question, Emily.
Thank you.
So now we're going to move to mine. Mine is, I wrote it down while I was reading an article. And by reading an article, I mean skimming an article about NASA's James Webb Space Telescope, which has now moved into a position 1 million miles away. And they're like, coordinating the mirrors or like the lenses or whatever so that it can like actually work, and they're like doing all those specifications. And my question is, how are we controlling the telescope that's 1 million miles away?
When you say 1 million miles, is it like literally 1 million miles?
That's what I wrote down, and I'm assuming that I just took that right from the article.
Okay.
The thing that I love about space themed articles is that like whenever they're like, we discovered a new black hole, like the end line is like, we don't know what it means, which I just think is like such a fun type of clickbait article. I just like, we found something and we don't know about it.
We have no idea what's going on.
Which is basically also like the theme of this podcast. But like, at least we Google it. Like they don't even Google it. They don't even bother.
Google it. I discovered something completely brand new and I didn't even bother to Google it.
I just saw a black hole. What do I do? Black holes. Also don't understand it. But like I'm like confused about how they're controlling the satellite.
Okay. It's got to be some sort of wave,
I would assume it's like a radio wave.
but a radio wave, yeah,
Because like I feel
not a
like when you read
microwave.
like when you read articles about space, they're like, we saw a radio wave emitting something from another galaxy. We don't know what it means.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like radio wave is a good, yeah.
But it's
Hmm.
also like a million miles away, which I kind of get because like there's nothing in space, so maybe there's like not anything blocking it.
Yeah, because it's just a vacuum, right? So like if we shoot a radio wave, like it's there's not going to be like friction or anything that's like making it like move off of its initial trajectory. But you have to
Uh-huh.
be like really precise.
Yeah, how would you target it? Oh,
Or do
maybe
you
it's
think we just like shoot everywhere? Like, just radio waves for everybody and hope one of them hits.
we went from Viagra to shooting everywhere. Uh, really great podcast.
Yikes.
Um, I feel like you can't just shoot random shit into space like that. Like, there's got to be some like Galactic Federation rules against that.
Okay, but like as far as but like we know of
My
information that's
God,
been released to the public.
my what do you call it? Ring lamp fell on me for the viewers who are listening and not watching.
Like, no. Who's gonna make rules about what you can like send out into space?
The United Nations. Because like okay, first of all, like what if you like send out too many radio waves and aliens are like, let's go over there? You don't want that.
Who says we don't want that?
You want an alien to show up and be like, we're smarter than you because we figured out how to get here. Bang bang, like let's go. No, you have to have like a very specific radio wave hitting the telescope.
Okay. So, and like, do we like send this radio wave out from like ground level?
I would assume that we use some of our other telescopes or like satellites to shoot the ray. Like the space
A
station
telescope.
exists. I don't know what I just said. I'm saying we being Houston is setting up to the United States space system thing, and the space
Mhm.
system people are like, oh, okay, let me get right on that, and then they shoot the message over to the
Do we
satellite, and they're like,
currently have
hey,
people in
satellite.
space?
I assume that we always have people in space.
Like America or like the world? Because I feel like people are people on the International Space Station?
Oh, right, it's an international space station, but I would assume so. Like somebody's got to be running it.
Right. But like, no, I think it might come from like Earth, like the ground level, because when I was at Cornell, they worked on the Mars rover, and like there was a building, and like the top floor was like the team that was like doing stuff with the Mars rover. So if they could sit on like the 14th floor of whatever that building was called and do
Oh,
stuff with the Mars rover, then like
okay. When you were
Houston
there,
probably can do it from like here.
do you remember like seeing any satellites on the ground, like those big disc thing? I think you know what a satellite is.
No.
Like, really?
No, I don't remember that. It was also by like all the sports things, so I didn't really go there too often.
Fair. See, we think it's just like a remote control that's sending a radio wave. I mean, I don't know how a
Okay.
regular remote control works.
I mean, it's probably like some like precise laser. I don't think it's like someone pointing and clicking.
Like there's an on button and an off button. You got to really aim.
Okay.
See, this is a hard question. Like, how would they control it?
Yeah, I think a radio wave from the ground.
Shot out of a satellite?
No, a satellite's in space,
No, you can have like a satellite on the ground, like
like a dish
direct TV.
satellite.
Direct TV. It's the future of television. It's the future of
We have a
space
lot of
communication.
potential sponsors in this episode.
We've name dropped a lot of brands. Brands, get at
Yeah.
us.
Specifically Viagra. I have an idea for you.
Viagra, CVS, and Direct TV.
Mhm.
What's up? Okay, so we're gonna guess radio wave shot from the ground.
With a really precise laser.
I feel like maybe like it's got to connect though through the space satellite. Like it's got to go boom boom and like amplify it out. That's my final guess.
Why? You think like there's an astronaut on the International Space Station holding a mirror? So, like,
No, I'm saying like the
reflects off.
International Space System has a dish and it just like, what do you call it? What is that word?
Sends out a radio wave
It goes
emission.
bing off of it. It reflects.
So a mirror.
I mean, mirrors don't reflect waves, do they?
They reflect light waves. That's how you literally see in a mirror.
Okay, so I just went to Google to start Googling it. And the thing that I have in the search bar is how do I know if I have a 401k?
You have to set it up. It doesn't just show up in your life.
No, I didn't know if like when we have like an employer and like the employer's like, you have 401k matching or whatever. Like, I don't know what that means.
You don't? Do you not have a 401k?
No, I do. I figured it out. I figured out where it was.
Have you put any money into it?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, good.
I have a meeting with my financial advisor tomorrow. How do we control the James Webb Telescope? Oh, there's a full FAQ.
Oh, wow. From where? What's their source?
The James Webb Space Telescope.nasa.gov.
Okay, I trust that. Once I emailed NASA and they never got back to me.
What do you mean?
I was wondering if it was possible to fabricate an atmosphere on Mars so that we could go colonize it. I sent it in, like nasa.gov or whatever it is, has like have a question for us? You can send them an email.
There's a lot of information on this website, and it's like, how did you protect Webb from the violent forces involved in the Ariane rocket launch? Isn't beryllium brittle? And I'm like, what is beryllium?
Beryllium is a periodic table thing.
Can Webb take
an
selfies?
Element, if you will?
I have to click on the FAQ about can it take selfies? Oh, this actually kind of explains it. This kind of explains it. They use the ground team, so it is on the ground, monitors its vitals using a comprehensive set of sensors located throughout the entire spacecraft. So it has sensors apparently.
Everywhere.
So mechanical, thermal, and electrical sensors provide a wide array of critical information about the current state and performance of Webb while it is in space. A system of surveillance cameras to watch deployments was considered an inclusion in Webb's toolkit and of diagnostics and was studied in depth during Webb's design phase, but ultimately was rejected. So it cannot take a selfie.
So that's just like the diagnostics of the actual unit. Mm-hmm. That's not how we're sending information to it, though.
I can't figure out this website. Like, you need to go on the website and try and look. It says that it has mirrors. How do we control it?
A high-frequency radio transmitter.
What?
How will Webb communicate with scientists at Earth? The Webb will send science and engineering data to Earth using a high-frequency radio transmitter.
So we were right. It was radio waves.
Yeah.
So it's literally just a transmitter that's sending waves towards Earth? Or like...
Large radio antennas that are part of the network, NASA Deep Space Network, will receive the signals and forward them to Webb Science and Operations Center at Space Telescope Science Institute in Baltimore, Maryland. That's pretty close to me. Should I just go?
I think you should just go.
Guys, they can sponsor us.
First of all, we should become medical doctors because we understood what Viagra did, and also we understood what the telescope did just by thinking about it.
I really thought you were gonna say we should become medical doctors because we guessed radio waves, and I was just like, that's not really what medical doctors do, but okay, yeah.
It's not. We could be astronauts or medical doctors.
The world is our oyster.
Honestly, incredible vibes. Incredible vibes. Okay, so with that, I think it's time to transition to our listener questions. So each week we will answer a listener letter, and these can be difficult questions, they can be easy questions that we just try to guess the answers to. And since this is our first podcast, we do not have any listeners. as of yet. So we've just asked our mother. Shout out to Pamela. If you're listening, you should be, because there will be a quiz on if you hear this, and if you don't bring it up, then we will know that you didn't listen.
The code word is bananas.
She's not going to know it.
She's not going to know it.
That's okay though, because she gave us a question. And let me pull up her question because she texted it to both of us. Pamela asked the question, how does a needle play music from a vinyl record? Great question, Pamela. Thanks for asking. And we appreciate your listenership, allegedly.
I think this has to do with waves again, like sound waves, you know. I'm going to just bank on
the answer
waves
to everything
for
is
every
waves.
answer.
Well, I would assume that the vinyl has bumps on it.
Right. It's definitely like etched. But there's like
I don't know how they etch
topography
it
to
or
it.
how they do that. I do actually have a vinyl. Should I go get it?
Yeah. Why don't you?
Hold on while I go get it. Entertain them. I can't hear what you're saying, so don't say anything inappropriate.
I won't. We already decided this would be an explicit podcast, so I could technically say whatever I want. I think a vinyl definitely is etched, for sure.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
All I heard was for sure.
For sure.
So this is a Casey Musgraves Golden Hour vinyl record. Casey, if you're listening, I love you. I don't have a record player, but I got this for free when I worked at Hulu, and it was like part of like some activation for some show, and they were like, you want a record? And I was like, sure, I want a record. I want a Casey Musgraves record.
It's never been opened until now.
Well, I don't have a record player. Like, why would I open it? Oh, it's really pretty.
Oh, it is really pretty.
Unboxing, you get everything on this podcast. Do you have a record player?
I do not.
So I have the record in my hands. It's clear. And upon close examination, I can't personally see any etches. Oh, there's two sides.
I feel like it would
to
have to be like super like nuanced.
I mean, you can kind of see like it looks like cells almost of like there's like lines in between the like circular lines.
Yeah, I assume that's like the different heights of the record.
We need a microscope.
I almost bought myself a microscope for Christmas.
Listen, that's a good business. That's a good business investment. charge it to the LLC. You need to get an LLC.
I think it's also probably similar to like, you know, when people have like the water glasses and you just get the right frequency as you rub it. I feel like that's kind of like what the needle is doing with like the vinyl. You
don't think it's like bumping up and down? You think it's going da-da-da-da, like side to side?
I assume it was just going in a spiral.
Oh my God, the University of Buffalo is calling me. They want money. Okay, I declined.
Good job.
So
like, because like you have to pick up the needle and like you bring it back to the start. So like it definitely goes like towards the center as it plays.
Right. So it's on like a racetrack and it's going around and it's bumping up and down.
Yeah.
Okay, so that vibration that's like in the needle is going back to something in the system and doing something.
Oh, you think that vibration is then like translated into sound? Like it's not coming from like, I assume the sound is coming from like the actual like friction part of it. And then like the circle thing is just amplifying it.
You think that like if I ran a needle across that right now, it would just play music?
Yes. I do.
I don't have the faith to do that, and I don't want to scratch my Casey Musgraves vinyl, but I don't think that's right.
Are we going to actually Google this for Pamela, or are we just going to
No, we have to actually Google it for her. But you're saying that the needle is like a musical instrument and it's making noise?
Yeah, like when you rub your finger on a water glass. Like literally that is friction that is making sound. So why can't this needle do that?
I feel like there's some vibration happening in the system and it's like turning it into something.
I feel like to translate that, like you're saying, is really complex for when vinyls were like first produced. I feel like that's like a really old thing. Also when were vinyls first produced?
I feel like in the 1800s.
Yeah, so you think that like they had some computer system that would translate vibrations into audio? That's what you want to stand by?
No, I don't know if that's completely accurate, but I think that's pretty smart.
Are we ready to Google it? I think I stand by mine.
I don't think it's just playing something like that doesn't make any sense. Like I feel like it has to go into the system and create more vibrations within the system.
Loser buys the winner an ice cream cone.
Okay.
How do vinyl records
Wait,
work?
what if we both lose?
No one gets ice cream tonight.
How does a record player work?
Okay. This is Victrola.com, which honestly, pretty reputable source.
Is it?
I do not. Yeah, isn't the Victrola like the first record player?
I never heard of that.
Oh, I can get 10% off my order if I give them my information.
Maybe don't do that.
I'm not gonna. Okay, how do they really work? Vinyl record players are electromagnetic devices that change sound vibrations into electrical signals. When the record spins, it creates vibrations that get converted into electrical signals. These
That's what
are
I
fed
said.
into electronic amplifiers. Electric amps vibrate and feed the resulting sound into the speakers, which amplify it and make it louder.
So the needle reads the vibrations, sends it back to some stuff, and pushes it out.
What's an electronic amplifier? Like you're telling me the original one like had an electronic amplifier in it?
Like it just seems like something that takes the noise in and makes it bigger.
We were correct on like the grooves and like the needle following like the circle.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that was easy.
A fun factoid, once upon a time records were made out of rubber.
That doesn't seem very cost effective.
Not really. Well, I guess you're correct. So I will purchase you an ice cream cone.
We still don't know what an electronic transmitter or whatever is.
Amplifier.
I think maybe next time we should figure out what a transmitter is because we don't know.
We're just going to make it up.
Well,
We're going to Google that ahead of time so we're qualified to speak about it.
I don't understand like what an like a microchip is. How does that store
Like
data?
in your pet?
No, like in an SD card.
Oh.
Something to consider.
011001.
What does that mean?
Duh.
Duh.
I don't know. I hope it doesn't translate to something horrible.
It's probably just like A or something.
I think we answered Pamela's question really well.
Yeah, maybe she should buy us an ice cream cone.
That's a good idea.
If she doesn't remember code word bananas,
okay.
It's on her.
This is her silent agreement to it, even though she's not a part of this.
Honestly, vibes. So that was the first episode. I think we did a good job.
I think so too. I'm proud of us.
So if you enjoyed that, be sure to find us on social. It's at Search Bar Podcast. And my handle is at I Got Shubak, IGOTSCHUPBACH, across all platforms.
Awesome. And my handle is at eSchubach, ESCHUPBACH. And again, if you ever have a question or something you don't know, but you want us to try to figure out for you, you can always send that over to us at searchbarpodcast@gmail.com. We will happily answer it in one of our episodes. Also, feel free to give us a review. 5-star reviews because we're amazing.
Really, please do it.
Please, honestly, we love hearing from you. You can also ask a question in your review if you want. We'll definitely read all of those and can use that to make sure you get all of your information from a reputable source. Us.
We had our works cited in there. We were saying what the website was.
I tried to pronounce Anne's last name.
Bibliography.
Shout out to Anne.
Fun times.
Cool.
Fun
See you guys next week, or I guess in 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
And we're doing this bi-weekly?
I thought we were doing it every week.
Okay. If you want to edit everything once a week.
We'll
see you guys next week.
Incredible. Okay, bye.
Bye.
How do I stop the recording? Outside the Search Bar is a Perfectly Done Toast podcast production.